When it comes to listing on eBay, there's more than one way to skin a cat, but I'm convinced that the way I'm going to show you here is the best, the most optimized way to do it for most sellers. Is what I do. So let's talk about it on the other side. So without any further ado, let's go. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is John from Flippin' Ain't Easy, and as I mentioned, I want to show you what I feel is the most optimal way for the average eBay seller to get their items listed and have an optimized listing. I mean, really, we talk about, there's a lot of you out there who use the PC. I used to use it exclusively, guys, but once I got the hang of using the phone, okay, whether you're using an iPhone, an Android phone, or any other type of phone that's a smartphone, you should be able to get the eBay app on their store, like the iOS store, the Google Play Store, and they're very similar. The apps on eBay are very similar, regardless of the phone you're using. I'm going to use the iPhone here so that you guys can see what I'm doing. What I'd like to do here is list 2 pairs of shoes, kind of go slow the first time so that you see step by step what I'm doing, and maybe I can explain why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. And hopefully that will help you guys going forward. So I have these vans. I want to be able to identify, before I get into anything, of course, let's assume for a second, you could be listing anything. And when you're dealing with the app, it's faster when you're doing with like media, DVDs, records, things like that. Clothing is a little slower. Electronics are a lot slower. So no one's saying that you should be a speed demon here. The idea is that you're going to maybe learn something here, maybe be able to try something new from what you've seen in this video that you can apply that's going to make your current process just a little faster. And never compare your speed of listing with someone else's, because everyone's technical side's a little bit different. And for me, this just makes it easier. So if I can help you make it easier, that's kind of the goal here. So with shoes, with anything, there's some steps involved. Of course, you want to first evaluate, and hopefully you've done this before you bought the item. Make sure it's worth your time to even list. Once you've done that, you got it home, make sure it's clean, guys. Don't list the dirty item. So clean it up the best you can. We did that with these shoes, and we've maximized our ability to clean these shoes. And they're used shoes, and we're just going to make the best out of them here. So what I want to do is identify, what is this shoe? We go into an app called a Google app. So get that also on your phone if you don't have it. It's going to allow you to do what is called Google Lens. So essentially, I'm going to take a photo of this shoe, okay? And it's going to do its search results. And I'm going to find, now this looks like the shoe here. In fact, that looks just like the shoe. The Vans Off the Wall canvas shoes, okay, with teal blue. And I'm going to visit that. Now, it's going to take me to the website, but I can confirm that's the shoe, all right? And if I really wanted to, I can dive into the underneath the tag here. Usually underneath the tag, it'll tell me. And I'm looking at underneath the tag, it's a size 7. It just happens to be, these are youth, so this is the same exact size, youth 7. So I can go in and copy this, go into my eBay app under search, and I'm going to paste that, okay? And I'm probably going to find the same pair of shoes I found on the website, or on the .com website through the app here, okay? App like a roll of this here. It's just a roll of this clear wrap, and I would basically stack it. I learned this from Hustle. I want to see what's been sold, so I click on filter, and then I go to sold items, okay? No exact matches. That doesn't mean that this item hasn't sold. That just means that the long search term that I had in there wasn't an exact match. If I go down, I'll see that there's a pair that sold for about, well, $12.35. They took a best offer. 15, $21.99. Okay, $21.50. I'm probably going to be somewhere around $19 on this, just based on for what I'm seeing here. And I'll use this one here, the one that comes off as size 4. And I'm going to click on the listing. It says the listing's ended. And I'm going to click on sell one like this. Okay. Now in doing that, it's going to do its thing. eBay isn't the fastest app in the world. And so now I have my template, my base to work with. So as you can see here, and you can see on the screenshot of what I'm showing you, there's steps involved. So I would just say work from the top to the bottom. So let's work from the top to the bottom. Now, first of all, I've got these shoes. I want to make sure that they are presentable in a photo. What I like to do on shoes, I'll put this down for a second. What I like to do on shoes, I like to take a little bubble wrap. I like to take the laces, and I like to tuck them and maybe put the bubble wrap inside the shoe and pull out the tongue of the shoe a little bit. It simulates a foot being in a shoe rather than just having an empty shoe to photo. I find that it just looks better. Okay, so I'm going to do that with the other shoe as well. Okay, and you're going to just tuck it in such a way where the bubble wrap really isn't seen, but it looks like there's a foot in the shoe, if that makes sense. And then you see the little camera icon. You're going to click on that, and it's basically putting it in a 4x3 format. Make sure it's in 1x1 and change that so it's in a square. And so I'm going to come here and I'm just going to take a photo like that, right? And then I'm going to maybe line them up like that, take a nice photo of them. Maybe do it from this angle. Another photo. You want to take as many photos as you can, guys. If you can, it's going to show the buyer, you know, many angles of what you're selling. And of course, sometimes the shoes don't want to cooperate, so you've got to make them try to cooperate with you a little bit. Okay, you could do something like that, I guess. When you put the bubble wrap in the shoe, it kind of makes it hard for it to want to cooperate. So then I come across, and then I'll do another one like that, maybe showing the shoe, maybe show that part of the shoe. I might even do it for both shoes. Maybe you want them to see any of the blemishes. Maybe one shoe has a blemish. Come across and do that. Maybe show what it looks like on the back as a pair, and without really getting the bubble wrap in the photo. So maybe come down a little bit like that. Okay. Take the bubble wrap out. Get rid of it. You don't want to keep it in the shoe. You want to use it for your next pair. And then maybe come in here and do like a close-up of the logo. And maybe do a top side. Okay. Some people like to do the inside of the shoe, if you can get the inside of the shoe to look nice. And then finish it off with a picture of the tag that we can zoom in later so you can see the size. And then once you have all the photos, you can do up to 24 now, so don't feel like you're limited to, you know, 1 or 2. Get as many as you can, and then hit done. And it'll load everything up. Now what I like to do is I like to go into the main photo, and really the main photo only, and just make sure it's cropped out so I get the most zoom on that one photo, because that's the photo that my buyer is going to see before they click on the item. I want that to be as big as possible. So I'm happy with that. Just look over your photos. Looks like I have 13. It's good for me. Done. So now we know it's a size 7 youth. So we're going to go here and change the size to size 7. Now, we want to check the title. Vans Off the Wall, Skate Shoes, Dark Gray, Canvas Lace Up, 500714, Kids Size 7. That looks good to me. Okay, that's acceptable. Go to your item specifics. We know that this is pre-owned. And we want to make sure the size reflects the same so there's no customer confusion. 7. Sneaker, color gray, men's. Now this is department. It's more of... I think, now this is one example where I piggybacked off of a listing. This is a youth size 7, okay? If you have it as a men's size 7, this is going to be returned more than likely. And actually, I'm looking at the shoe, and it is a men's size 7. So I was misled. Maybe there's a youth size of this as well. So we're going to keep this the same because the category, if we go back, you want to sometimes check the category, and you can see clothing, shoes, accessories, men's shoes. Okay. So I will, in my store, I have a bunch of different categories. Men's, in this case, shoes, done. So this is a men's size 7. So even though it says kids size 7, this is a men's size 7. Okay. And it says that on the tag. So I'm going to change that so that it doesn't, the last thing you want to do is sell a youth size 7. Now, maybe it's the same thing. I don't know. For those of you who've been selling shoes for a long time, might be able to correct me. It might be the same animal. I don't know. So let's go with that. And we want to go back into our item specifics. Now, the required item specifics that you can see here is what we're looking for. And those are all filled out. Okay. Now, the recommended, I don't have the bubble filled in. And that's fine. I don't know the release year, okay? And I don't want to make one up either because they might be looking for one they specifically remember getting back in 2016, and you put the wrong year. There's no point in guessing. If you can find the answer, great. If you can't, then just move on. Now, the only thing I'm really concerned about here is in the additional item specifics. I just want to make sure there's no nonsense in here. A lot of times people put free shipping, 100% guarantee, and even sometimes they'll put in no tax on this item, which I don't know how a seller can even set that up. It's not even possible. I go to my SKU, which is at the bottom. So for me, I'm probably going to put it in probably bin number 32, okay, and not bin 32, but rack 32, and that's what I'm going to put there, okay. And also, real quick, I just noticed this, that my UK shoe size is going to be off. Make sure that you have the right UK shoe size. According to this, it's a 6 UK and a 39 European. So I'm going to make sure that it says 6 UK and then 39, is that right? Yeah, 39 European. Okay. Now I've already changed my store categories. Description. Now here's what I like to do here. Okay. I like to use the voice recognition process here rather than just typing it all in and maybe having typos. There should be a little microphone at the bottom right of the app. Okay. And you just press that. Okay. It picks up everything you say. This is a pre-owned pair of Vans in very good condition, period. The shoe is free of rips or tears, and the sole is in very clean and excellent condition, period. These shoes come from a smoke-free home and will ship carefully to you without original retail box, period. See photos before you buy, period. That's it. Done. Done. And you saw how it typed it in. I didn't have to do anything. That's fast, guys. And then pricing. Now, for whatever reason, eBay has this fixation about putting everything on auction, okay, which makes me have my feelings about how eBay wants you to incorporate auctions into your store, but that's not what this is about. Buy it now. They put 22, and you can look at, see how the buyers have sold this item, but look, there's other Vans that show up that don't even match. I think there's one pair that is even the one we're selling. So use that as a reference in case you're really lost, but I already made my mind up based on the comps I looked at earlier that I'm going to change this to $19.99, okay? Now I'm into these shoes for about $1.50 a piece, okay? And I'm going to accept offers, allow offers, and I don't need to have a minimum amount. They'll come to me with an offer, and if I like it, I'll take it. Hit done. Now, for me, most of these shoes are about a pound, a little over a pound, between a pound and 3 pounds. I have the eBay shoe box. It's 15 by 8 by 6. Okay, that's the dimensions of the box in case you're wondering. And I'm going to go ahead. I have a policy set up for a flat rate of $9.99. So I may be able to put these in a flat rate poly mailer. And that's fine. I'm pay 30 and save about a buck. At the end of the day, I might be paying more on a larger, heavier pair of shoes. Okay, that's fine. I still have room to work with because I've bought these at such a low price. So I'm just going to say 2 pounds, 15, 8, and 6, then be done with it. Done. My international is already set. Okay, so that's already defaulted based on my shipping policy, so I don't have to mess with that. It's already on eBay payments, immediate payment. Returns, you can do this. You can, if you want to improve your ranking a little bit, go to your, make a 30-day return policy, free returns, and then sell it faster, promoted standard. I just let it default, guys. Let it default at the suggested ad rate. Don't play with 2% like everyone else is doing, okay? That's it. Guess what? I'm going to list my item. That's it. I'm listing my item, taking its sweet time. That's what eBay does. And success. Now, I would normally then take some like saran wrap, like a roll of this here. It's just a roll of this clear wrap. And I would basically stack it. I learned this from Hustle Hacks, that's another YouTube channel, a few years back when I started selling full time. And I'm going to put them like this, and I'm going to wrap them maybe 1 or 2 layers of this, and then put it away in 32. I'm going to do that later because I don't want to waste time on the video. Okay. So we've listed that pair of size 7, and that wasn't hard, was it? I think it's so much easier. Now, as you saw, I wasn't using a background removal tool on that listing. Now, I'm going to do it a little differently. It's up to you on how you want to do it. I think it looks just a lot more professional when you have a app like, say, Photo Room, and I'm going to show you that here right now. I'm going to take these Vans. Now, they're like a patent, not a patent, but like a matte leather. These are pretty good condition. I mean, there is some use, signs of use on the bottom, and we'll talk about that in the listing. And as you can see, they're tied. I'm going to untie them. And ideally, I'm just going to tuck them like that. Again, we're going to take our stuffing, and it doesn't have to be bubble wrap, but this is what I do. You do what you want to do. And I like to tuck the laces so that they're not in the way. Okay, you can tie them, I guess, but I just want them to look uniform, look really nice and tight. If you tie them, it's going to hide the tongue of the shoe. And that looks good to me. I'm happy. Okay, the bubble wrap is hidden for the most part. And that way I can just get to business and list my shoe. But I don't know what model these are. So again, I'm going to try to go a little bit faster this time. I'm going to go into my Google app. Okay, Google app. You can see the results from the last time. Just going to back it up until we get to the camera icon again. And this time I'll just use one shoe. And I'll back up so I can actually take a photo of it. And it's going to try to give me the best match. Now, I don't see the exact color, but I see a very similar style right here. And I'm going to visit this site, even though I've never heard of that. I want to see if it gives me a title. It doesn't really. So I'm going to go here to this one. That's not what I want either. So this one's going to be a little trickier, I think. This might be it. No, it's the same site. So it's not always easy. You have that one. I don't know where. Levi's. Oh, let me go back here. Levi's men's Alpine waxed sneakers. I don't know if you see that near the top of this screen. So I'm going to go with it. Levi's men's Alpine waxed sneakers. So I'll go back to the eBay search. Levi's men's Alpine. Is it waxed sneakers? Odd. Yeah, and that looks like it. So just use the information that Google search or Google Lens will give you. Now I'm in the solds again. Now remember, I'm kind of doing this a little bit faster. I'm in the solds, and I'm not selling a new shoe. There's one for 15 pre-owned. There's some for 15. We're getting a little bit too far past. We're looking at just a bunch of brand new ones. So for me, I see some 15s. I see some news at 59. I see another new at 29.99. I'm gonna maybe go with 24.99 here, and I'm gonna piggyback off of that one right there, and I'm gonna click on sell one like this. Okay, well they have variations, so you can't do that. So I'm gonna find another one. I really don't like the other titles because they are just, you guys know me, I don't like the big caps, and eBay doesn't necessarily either, but I'm gonna go with it. Sell one like this. Now, what I will do in this case is I'll just let the caps go. I'll go back into my listing on the computer and mess with all that later, but the idea is let's get this thing listed. Now, before we went right into the photos, I'm going to go into, in fact, I'm not going to go into Photo Room. I wanted to do that for this presentation, but I realized that I have Jenna's phone, and it's just a pain in the butt to deal with Photo Room because we have to log out and log into my account. So I'm not going to do that. It's up to you. If you want to go in and do Photo Room, take your photos, alter your photos, edit your photos, have them ready, and then go into this step is what I would do. When she's listing and I'm listing at the same time, I'll just have her go with the white background without the Photo Room app. I'll use the Photo Room app, and we can coexist that way. So if you have a husband and wife team, or maybe you have someone that's working with you, you have one account on Photo Room, or you have a way of doing it that they're not familiar with, just have them use this this way with the eBay app. So let's go ahead with some photos here. Now, some people like to take photos, maybe have this as their first photo. So let's go ahead and show you here. I'll go with my camera icon, and maybe boom with that one. Boom with that one. Okay. Maybe do the other shoe. Boom. Boom. Have them together. Head on. Boom. You can go as fast as you want here. I'm just doing it to, I don't want this bubble wrap to be in the shot, so I'll just make sure that's tucked out of the way. Boom. Let's take a look at the soles. Let's give them a chance to see the sole the best that we can. And again, the bubble is going to cause maybe a little bit of a problem, but boom. Let's see here. We got the, do we get the backs? Yeah, we got the backs. Let's get a zoom in on the Levi. Let's go in on the tongue part of the shoe. Anything that we see that could be maybe a highlight or an issue, maybe the back part here, right? And let's find the tag. Okay. So, boom. Okay. So we're going to hit done there. And again, I want to take my gallery photo, which is the main photo, and I want that to really highlight the shoe. So I'm going to crop it as close as possible. Don't color outside the lines. And it expands a little bit. Okay, you'll see it expand a little bit. Well, you really didn't do it there, but also what I might like to do, I might want to zoom in on the tag photo. That's another thing I'd like to do, get my stupid thumb out of the photo. And we're good. So hit done. Again, the size of the shoe is size 13. So these are some big shoes, more like skis. And you see the word new? I don't want that in there, so we're going to take that out. Maybe throw in men's shoes brown. They misspelled brown. That's no good. Again, I'm going to go with the flow for now. And these aren't brown. These are black. So these are black. See, I get used to... I'm going to go with the flow and make them caps. I wouldn't recommend caps, okay? Black and brown. Size 13. Okay, and that's good enough. And then I'm going to hit done. Now, I probably would change the title a little bit, but I want to go as quickly as I can. Pre-owned, size 13s. Okay. We're going to go with black. And I like to go with the default colors. Don't just add your own colors in there unless you have something off the wall that you really need to add in there, because if you add your own value in and they go search for a black pair of shoes and you put black/brown, it's not going to come up in search. So go with what eBay's showing here. Now, customize style code, again, these are all recommended. I mean, I can go through it and go no. What I like to do is go as fast as I can just to get these listed. You know, see if I have a UK size on here. I have a 47 Europe and a 12 UK. So I'll see if I can fill those in. So 47 UK and a UK 12, and you got to make sure the values are correct, because people will go by the item specifics or search based on that, and if it's wrong, you're going to get a return. So back to men's, in this case shoes, and it's good to go in and set up your categories in your store if you have one. And then we're back to the item description. Now you noticed that that title that I altered automatically changes in your item description, provided that you haven't gone in and altered stuff. It'll only do it like at the beginning. So if I go back and change the title, this ain't going to change again. So just want to maybe make you aware of that. So I'm going to hit the microphone. This is a pre-owned pair of Levi's shoes in very good condition, period. It is free of rips, comma, tears, and the soles are in good condition with some sign of previous use, period. These shoes come from a smoke-free home and will ship carefully to you without original retail box, period. Please see photos before you buy, period. And that's it. Done. Okay? And you noticed it corrected itself. It went back and spell checked itself. It wanted to say tissues, but then it realized it said these shoes, so which is kind of cool. My pricing, again, we're not doing auction. And again, we talked about $24.99. So have that in your mind while you're listing. You know, you've already figured out before you listed it what you're going to sell it for. Offers, again, I'm into these shoes for such a small amount. Yes, I'll take offers. Shipping, you want to make sure you got your I just default to 2 pounds. 15, 8, and 6 is the size of the box that I use. It'll show me my return policy, my payment policy is fine. Sell it faster. Let it default at that ad rate, 5.6 in this case. And, ooh, before I go, where am I going to put it? I'm going to do my SKU. This is going to go into 27. And so I'll put that into 27. So I need to go back to my item specifics at the very bottom. My SKU, put 27. Don't put that in your title, guys. It's confusing for the buyer and it limits your number of characters to work with. When you sell this, it'll show what SKU value you put in there. And then I'm going to hit list my item. And we wait, drum roll, success. I got to tell you, I could have listed this a little faster because, you know, we're dealing with, you know, I'm making a video here. I've got multiple videos rolling. I'm explaining to you, going through all the steps verbally instead of just doing it. So that is going to be faster, I think, for most people to do it that way. And now you have 2 listings done. Go into my computer and, you know, I'll go in there and make any tweaks, check it out. Maybe I need to go through my item specifics a little bit more carefully, fill in the ones that I left blank. That's fine. But guess what? Instead of being on the first one, playing on your computer, you now have 2 items listed that are available for sale that someone can go in right now and buy from you. And we didn't take that long, I don't think. I think as you get the hang of it, you're not talking on a YouTube channel like I am. You're going to get faster, and it's going to be slow at first. So don't be so hard on yourself when you're trying this method for the first time. Give it a solid chance, okay? Start from the top, work your way to the bottom, okay? And get used to that flow before you decide, this ain't for me. Because see, here's the thing, guys. eBay has developed this technology, the eBay app, okay? And they really want you to use it. And the sellers that adapt, and we talk about this all the time. Some of you sellers have been selling for 20 plus years. I've been selling many, many years, since 2002, 20 years. And we get set in our ways. You're like, I'm so used to doing it on the computer. Like everyone was up in arms when the new lister came in on the PC. People are starting to get used to it. And get out of your comfort zone. Use your phone, guys. Use your phone. Get your listing set up. And even if you wanted to, this is another thing you can do. I didn't show you this in the app, but you can go in, set up your listing, and at the bottom, instead of say list it now, you can put save for later. Now, that'll save it as a draft. Go to your next item. Boom. Keep doing your drafts like that. Then go to your PC, fix everything to your ability, to the best of your ability, and then launch them from your PC. If maybe you want to introduce a template, you name it. You can do what you want. But to me, I think just starting off the process with your phone is going to be the best way for you to get faster. And we talk about, optimizing things. We talk about optimizing the steps within the listing, but we really don't talk a lot about the process. And this process here is going to save you a lot of time and give you an opportunity to get more value in your store and allow you to do more things with your store. And even if you have just a few hours, you're going to have more time now than you've had before. I want to hear your comments down below. Let me know your thoughts on this. While you're at it, I'd appreciate it if you hit that like button. Of course, if you like the video, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time I drop a video like this or when we go live. And speaking of live, for those of you who join us on Mondays or Fridays at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern, we're not doing it on Friday the 18th. I'll be out of town, but we will be back with lives on Monday the 21st, I believe. So please make a point to be with us. Would love to have you on the live. I always love seeing new faces on the live and interacting with us. So hopefully this was helpful to you. Hopefully I helped someone out there. That's the whole purpose of this. Drop me some comments down below. But you know what, guys? Finding ways to optimize how we do eBay is yet another example of how sometimes flipping ain't easy. And I want you guys to have an excellent weekend, and we will talk to you very soon.